Hi Pile 1, you have chosen the Laboradorite, which is a beautiful crystal to work with. It is a real connector to our celestial information, and at the moment in sidereal astrology we are in the season of Aquarius, and we've just had the Aquarian full moon. So sidereal in Vedic astrology is a little bit different to tropical. It works with the true night sky rather than having even amounts of days. That's what tropical does. It has even amounts of days where the planets are moving through each zodiac. In sidereal and Vedic astrology, it's working with the true night sky, because not every one of the zodiacs are different lengths. So Virgo, for example, is a very long zodiac, and Ophiuchus is the 13th sign, and it's a very short one. So each zodiac has a different length. That felt important to share, because it seems to me, when I look at your very first card, you've chosen the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is actually a really good card. It is a card that shows us that we're in a resting place. We've been through a really big struggle, and we've come to a resting place where we can digest and allow ourselves to be taken over the ocean of emotion, or away from the situation or the turmoil, and towards nervous system rest. So whatever the situation you've been in, there is straight away this is saying, take care of your nervous system, take some rest, and let's see what else we've got for clarity for you. Okay, so we're looking at the 7th house, which is long-term partnerships. We're looking at the moon, which could represent subconscious mind. It also can be something related to the maternal line. So you could be asking a question about your mother, or someone who has a lot of deep influence of the moon, is influenced by the moon. And then we've got Taurus. So Taurus is that archetype of the Hierophant, which is kind of like the priest. Taurus can be really headstrong, but also deeply loving and loyal and devoted. So yeah, if you've asked a question about a Taurian, then this is the reading for you. But otherwise, it's someone who has Taurian qualities. So I'm just gonna gather these runes up to really think about your person, your question, what you've been going through. And Great Spirit, I just ask for clarity for Pile 1. Show us, wisdom keepers. Let us see, let us hear, let us know what it is we need to know. All right, well, straight away, I can see that in the realm of your relationship with the outside world, your first house, you are about to reap a harvest. However, it's a harvest of virtue and strength and fortitude if you are able to freeze emotion. So right now there is a struggle of value going on. It could be you valuing yourself, or how another values you. So what I see here is that there is a harvest for you coming with regards to relationships. You're being asked to stand strong in who you are, who you know yourself to be, and who you want to be, who you choose to be in this world. And stand by your virtues and your what you value and what your values in life are, because as you do that, you can freeze any overly emotional responding to a perceived lack and start to rewire the way that you're responding to lack. So it could be that there's been really headstrong conversations going on and a withdrawal and a withholding of love and care and emotion. So, but Yara has joined the party of all of that, and Yara is like, okay, it's time to pour what is healthy into your values cup. And when we think about relationships are a chalice, they are a cup. And two individuals or two beings are pouring into that cup, and then we get to drink from the cup. So the questions to ask are, am I withholding emotion? Am I withdrawing and shutting down? Am I being headstrong and fighting for my own opinion to be heard? Or am I willing to truly come and hear and be seen and to be witnessed by my beloved, or my friend, or my daughter, or my mother, or whoever it is that you've inquired about? So then you have Ewa's, the rune of partnership, in the second house. And the second house is partner. Ewa's in the second house is an indication that there really is a deep, deep sense of worth and value available for you. So it's like taking that cup of everything I just expressed and pouring it into the second house of value. I value you for the following reasons. I value me for the following reasons. And because I have this value, I know how valuable this connection is. Does that make sense? If this is resonating, please comment and let me know. So then we move to the next house of communication, and here we've got Gebo. And Gebo is like bringing a gift. So if we talk about this cup of value, we can bring that cup of value and offer it as a gift. I value you. There is Hagalaz sitting here next to Gebo, and that is a strong indication that this relationship is requiring a death. And that doesn't mean that it's an ending. It means that there needs to be a rebirth. So with Gebo standing next to Hagalaz, the rune of life, death, and rebirth, I would say that we are looking at the gift of ending what doesn't work. So by asking the questions that came through, which was channeled earlier, am I standing too headstrong? Am I withholding emotion? And what is the harvest I would really like to create here? Standing in your virtue and your valor and emotional mastery, so that we're not coming from a place of dogmatism or too headstrong or too withdrawn, but actually saying, well, what is it that I want to create, and how am I participating in this outcome that keeps coming round and around and around? If you need assistance to help work out any points of attraction within you, in your subconscious, unconscious, in communication. Clearly, this is saying there are things, ways that both of you are communicating that are not working. You need to come back and come from this place of, you are a gift. You are a gift. I see the gift in this. And maybe it's, yes, I see the gift and it's time to let it go. So I'm just going to actually ask a yes, no question for those, ooh. Let go of the battle. Because there is a victory coming. The Chariot of love and your harvest is coming as you make friends with both your dark and light side of yourself. Oh, this is so yummy. I'm really happy for you. You have abundance. The Nine of Pentacles is enough for everyone. So if you have been worrying about money and it's been causing problems, this is the card that says you can stop with the freaking about money situation. And then we have the Six of Cups, which is so beautiful. You could actually be inquiring about a childhood friend coming home. This is like the inner child in us that wants to play with the other. It's the parts of us that can really drop out of our need to be right and just coming and celebrating. And look, this guy's coming with a full cup with flowers and offering it. So this is like confirming what the runes are saying. There is a really yummy, beautiful thing here. And when we look at the 7th house, in the dice that we pulled, the 7th house, with the moon there, we're looking at like keeping it real with the unconscious and subconscious patterns that are playing out that are not serving you or this person that you care about. So moving on, we now have in the 5th house of sex, communication, co-creation, creativity, things that you want to birth and bring into the world. It could be children. You have Tewaz, and Tewaz is like laser focused, single focused. It is also a protection through focus. And I had this amazing session with a client the other day, and we went deep, and she was having this reprogramming of some old patterns that don't really work for her. And as we were bringing in the new archetypes, rather than her being in this pattern of doing everything on her own and not asking for help and getting really burnt out because she's focusing on the money piece, which is okay, but her heart was afraid to receive. And she had a relationship with her feisty side where she was like, I don't trust myself and I don't trust women because of the fire that comes out of us. And this amazing vision came through, and I saw Artemis, and Artemis was dipping she was on her horse and she was like aiming the arrows. Tewaz, arrow, look straight. But she was dipping her arrows in this, it was like a massive medicine pouch on her hip. And she was pulling the arrows out, dipping them in the medicine pouch that was dripping with this beautiful golden liquid light of love that had been charged from the center of sun. And so she's like dipping these arrows, and instead of shooting flames of what that person's doing wrong and flames of what is not good, she was shooting arrows of awareness and light and love. And so when we look at when you've been co-creating with someone and you have a vision, it can get really, really tiring when you're working towards something. So this is an invitation to get juicy again. Yes, be focused. Yes, continue to create your projects. It could also be really fiery lovemaking coming your way. Yeah. That just came in like a massive interruption. So if you're asking about whether this person, if you're going to be romantically connecting, yeah, sexually for sure. There's that Six of Wands again. So that indicates that that's a yes. That's a victory. It's like, yep, it's gonna happen. Woohoo! Let me know. Let me know if it does. Okay, so moving on, we now have Perthro, which is the cup of dice of, it's the cup that we place the dice of fate in and we roll. So this is in the 8th house. This indicates the 8th house is our money, it's the underworld, it's something collective. And it's also the womb mysteries. So let me just tune into this. This is interesting. Someone's going through a really deep underworld transformation. So when we look at this, you know, the story that is weaving here, Perthro in the 8th house with the Druid card saying hold the space indicates that there is a massive transformation taking place. The cup of fate will roll. Stay focused. Use your Terroir's energy. The womb mysteries are important for any female identified individual. And knowing the men knowing the womb mysteries is also really important, because when we truly understand, and not truly understand, I hate that word, when we truly comprehend the gift that we have in our hands of knowing that we give birth to life, that it is from the womb that everything that is created has occurred. Everybody has a body because of the power and potency of the womb. And so the wombed individual in any relationship is the one, whether she's had a hysterectomy or not, any wombed individual is the one who's doing the deep alchemy work within the relationship. So she will pull towards herself the dreams, the desires, all the things. It's her body that is helping things happen. But then she's also pulling towards herself everything that's not working, everything that's broken, everything that's not expressed. So if you've got clunky communication and there's stuff not really working, this is going to be coming up in the premenstrual phase, and this is where relationships can get extremely difficult for both parties because her body's doing the work of alchemizing and changing the things that are not working so that she can bleed that out and it becomes compost. Holding space for that time. So the 10 days before the bleed, 7, depending on how long this cycle's been going on, her premenstrual phase could be really full power. Someone in this situation is going through a massive transformation and you're being asked to hold space for that. So whether that's you, whether that's your other, significant other, your friend, your partner, the clarity is to keep holding space. Now, if you need assistance in how to hold space for your loved one, how to change your communication patterns, and how to really soften so that you can truly hear each other, I am so available. I have some appointments. I'm so available, you know. No, I have some appointments coming up, so reach out. I would love to help. Now, the last house that we have runes in is the house of social. And we have got Algiz, the protection rune, and Othala. So these two runes together indicate that you are protected. Someone just said from gossip. No weapon formed against you will prosper. And as long as you stand in that knowing. Okay, so there is a light ray that you're being asked to work with. Basically, the light rays are, there's different spectrums of light, and we can work with those different spectrums of light to, Stargate of Orion. Have a look at this. I'm just going to read this one. Do you know I've never seen this card before? I don't remember them off the top of my head. Freedom of expression, emotional intelligence. That's coming back to the freezing of emotion in the very beginning. Like-minded connections. The sapphire blue ray, throat chakra, water element, sleeping deeply. Remembering that you are from the stars. There is so much more to this picture, and that to me is what Othala is. So Othala in the house of community, social, is remembering that I just got a message pop up on my phone from a girlfriend saying, "You've ruined me, I can't have a massage from anyone else anymore." Sorry, babes. Yes, you are from the stars. Labradorite, there's a bigger picture playing out here. There is a celestial conversation happening. Othala is like us calling on our divine inheritance. It is inheritance. It is what your birthright is and how you want to be with community, with society, with all of the things. So my friend, there is a harvest coming for you in this relationship. There is a long-term someone for you. In this particular relationship, there is definite need to change the communication patterns. It looks like you have come through a really hard time and you're in a resting phase. So take care of your nervous system, stop the fight, hold the space, call in your divine inheritance of what you know is your birthright. It is my birthright to walk in love. It is my birthright to have healthy, beautiful connections. It is my birthright to have tribe around me. It is my birthright to know that I can create whatever the fuck I want to. Yeah. No, I'm happy for you. This is good. Let me know if you need any assistance. Thank you so much. You can support me by liking and subscribing and sharing, of course. And yeah, let me know if this resonated, and have a beautiful March. Hi friends who chose the shell. Your card is the reversed High Sage. So in the original tarot, this is the reversed Priestess card. My friend, you are going through something incredibly confusing right now. It feels like your intuition is blocked about the situation that you're asking for clarity on. So the good news is I'm here to help you. So let's have a look. We've got the 4th house of home, we have the Sun, and we have Sagittarius. Okay, more information will come through. But at the moment, if you have a Sagittarian, someone whose sun sign is in Sagittarius, or something happened in Sagittarius season, which would have been around November. Also, it's about shining the light of the sun in your home environment. Okay, let's ask more. Also, the shell, like this shell was a home to someone before. Okay, someone, wow, I feel like crying. Someone in particular is feeling like their home isn't a home anymore. And the light of love is still there, even though it feels dark right now. The reason that this animal that used to live inside the shell doesn't live in it anymore is because it outgrew it, and it was time to go on the next journey and find the next home. So that feels like an important message for whoever is receiving this right now. And let's find out more. Okay, so I'm going to cast the runes on this lovely rune board that I made. So I made the runes myself. These are my little travel runes. They're super cute. I'll be holding some rune making workshops. So, and this is the board. So what we do, isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is we together take a breath with me, and we are going to ask for direction from the rune tree, Yggdrasil, the information we need for our earthly journey. Please let us see, let us hear, let us know what it is we want to know. Alu, alu, alu. Okay, so we've got 1st house, second house, 7th house, 9th house, and 12th house. So your relationship with how you are seen, your persona in the world, and how you perceive the world sees you. First house is basically, there's so many ways of talking about the first house, but this is basically how you perceive that the world sees you. And you're being asked to come from a place of knowing that you are a gift. There is a gift that is available for you in this relationship, and it's starting with you claiming that you are the gift. That when you are out there in community, when you're choosing to put your persona forward, what you're doing is you are bringing the gift of you into community. So then we have the second house of your money and your value. So I don't like 100% focusing on the second house as the house of my money, because if we think about it as my resources, my relationship with resources, because money is not the only thing that creates abundance. The thing that creates abundance is our sense of worth and value. I am enough, therefore I attract what is in alignment with me. And here you have Ware, Sawillo, and Tewas. And oh my god, that's so exciting, because you've literally got the rune of joy, pleasure, all these wonderful things and union. Like Ware is a pleasurable, erotic union. It is our ability to walk in joy. It is our ability to claim our pleasure. And then we've got Sawillo, which is the sun in the north, with our northern ancestors. The sun is the feminine, she who shines brightly. So what we're looking at here is being our radiance, your radiance, being protected by the sun, and you claiming your pleasure, your joy, and your worth. So when I cast the dice, we've got the sun. So straight away, by looking at this, we're like, okay, the first card was saying my intuition is feeling blocked. So straight away we know, because we've got Sagittarius, we've got Tewas, which is the arrows of focus. Tia is a god of strategy. So what strategies can you put in place inside of the dark night of the soul that you've been going through? What strategies can you put in place so that you are practicing knowing that you are the gift, celebrating the gifts that you have received from this relationship, and appreciating that the value of that relationship and your value within it is not ever going to be diminished unless you allow it to be. Unless you allow yourself to be, or unless you allow the other to be. I'd say this is a message also about money coming in, your money, joy, pleasure, sun, Tewas. There's a bunch of awesome stuff brewing in your world. I'm being asked to pull some tarot to clarify something. Okay, to clarify, the Raidho in the 7th house is quite an interesting little message there, because usually Raidho means a journey movement. So there is a shift happening. There is a shift happening. I wonder if you're moving house or you're relocating, because we've got that 4th house dice happening there. Yeah, Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles. So now we're looking at a masculine, the King of Pentacles. He who has a vision. This could be your internal king, but when we're doing collective readings, so yeah, by the way, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because this is a collective reading. So there will be messages that are specific for other people in here as well. Anyway, this is a masculine, a king. He is generous. He is looking for a new beginning too. The Ace of Swords is a really powerful card. It's like, look at it. It's the crown is on the sword. So this is about focusing on what you want to recreate. If you have been considering relocating, that feels like it. Yes, do that thing. Okay, I'm going to ask for clarity. Oh yeah, because then you've got, in the House of Travel, you've got Lugas. Always get it mixed up. Anyway, the Rune of Flow. The Rune of water, flow and movement in the House of Travel, expanded mindset, expanded philosophy. You're being asked to shift and change your perceptions, to reframe the belief system matrix so that you can feel that expanded state of consciousness. And then Othala is there as well, which is your birthright. What is your divine inheritance and your birthright? So when we look at the aspect of it is your divine inheritance to wander this earth unharmed. It is your divine inheritance to flow and move. And if there is someone in this situation who is concerned about making this move, because the King of Pentacles can get really, really bogged down in like what needs to be done and what the financial situation is and what the pros and cons are, and that's probably why you've got this reversed High Priestess energy, because deep down you actually know what needs to happen. You know. They just said ask a yes/no question. Okay, so now we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit and the Fool. This is really interesting. Whoa. For those of you who asked a yes/no question related to this relationship, or whatever you asked a yes/no question, the answer is yes. Ace of Coins. That is a yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, here we have quite an interesting story playing out, because the High Priestess is a little bit blocked in information. She's gone through a really deep hermit phase, or he has gone through a really deep hermit phase, wanting to step out. So the Fool is is like having that childlike spirit to start a new journey, to start something fresh and new. So that fresh new journey is available to you. The universe is saying, go for it. Take the first step. Your intuition is this little dog. The flower in your hand is your heart full of joy and pleasure and passion, which showed up in the second house. Remember, 1 year with the sun and Tewas, knowing that you are the gift. The fool steps out on his hero's journey and takes a chance after spending deep time in a hermit phase. Be aware not to allow the Knight and the King of Pentacles get too bogged down in the decision-making process, because you know it is really legit to say, okay, can I afford this? Can we, like, what are the actual pros and cons of this? Now, the masculine in the connection will innately want to provide, help, serve and protect. And this has definitely got something to do with the living situation. So any childhood financial wounds may be presenting, because financial wounds are a real thing. The Knight sets in the hero's journey of the masculine archetypes. We're looking at the page who turns into the Knight, who turns into the prince, who turns into the king. So where on the journey is this person? Maybe it's you or someone else. Where on that hero's journey are they? And with Raiho in this 7th house, it indicates that this person or yourself, you're ready to move into the next phase. So this is about calling in your divine inheritance. It is about knowing that expanded consciousness, movement, flow, love, everything that you deserve is innately, and it is your inheritance to claim all of these wonderful things. So now I'm going to ask what light frequency you're being asked to play with. Ooh. Sacral chakra. I don't know if you can see that. Whoa, Goosey's big time. Okay, now, sacral chakra. So when we work with the chakras and the rays, we can really look at how we can shift energy from one state to another. Because when our energy bodies are really humming, then we're in charge, we're in the driver's seat. But what can happen is we can get really bogged down, especially when there's Pentacles energy and Hermit energy, and, you know, kind of feeling really safe at home, but you're also being asked to step forward and take a risk. And that the yes, courageous living, determination, and create from passion. Fear not, your eternal flames of passion burn within your sacred fire of life. So what is your sacred fire of life wanting to burn brightly with? You've got Wanyo here, Sawillo and Tewas the dream team in your house of value. I know I am a gift. I know I am valuable. I know that every relationship, past and present, has served to get me to this place where I am right now. So I'm claiming that. Yellow, golden ray, ruby red ray, violet ray, fire, faith, passion, creativity, motivation, inspiration, and self-love. So no matter how dark it has been, or confusing, or completely headfuckery, no matter how intense it's been, my friend, you are being asked to call in the fire of light, of the sun, of all of those rays. Really pull them into your body and bring light, because we have a choice in any moment in time to play in the darkness or play in the light. So what are we choosing? Let's up level. Now the last message I have for you is on the spiritual realm, because you have Algiz, the rune of protection, in the 12th house. So on a spiritual level, you are protected. There are loved ones on the other side who have passed over, and they are protecting you. They are protected and they are safe. Their home is no longer the earth, but they can move between here and there. The light has called them, and they are here to be the light for you, if you receive it. And the last card I have for you, my beautiful friends, is Stargazer. Set your gaze higher. Yes, it's been confusing. Yes, it has been intense. There is a much bigger picture playing out than we could ever really conceive in our human world. But we all came to participate in what's happening with the people that we're with and the people that have left. Everybody is no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should, and there is a much bigger picture playing out. So as we lift our sights higher, we can then begin to start resonating from knowing we have purpose, and no matter how confusing, how painful, is allowing the purpose of loss, endings, and new beginnings to be known by shining the light through inquiry. I love you. I'm here for you. I think that you've got so much available to you. There's so much abundance. There is a new beginning. There's so much pleasure and joy and love and light on this relationship. It is worth taking a risk. If the relationship requires movement, it is a yes. If you asked a yes/no question, it is a yes. If you need assistance and you would like a reading just like this, but specifically for you, then I would love to read for you. We can set up an online meeting. an online Zoomy roomie. And yes, you can support me by liking and subscribing to my channel and sharing it with your friends. I do these once a month as an offering. Let me know if it resonated, and yeah, I'd love to know how your journey goes from this point forward. So much love. Mwah. Pile 3, or those of you who chose the Amethyst, your card is the Devil. So don't freak out. The devil can be the trickster who is playing tricks on your mind or your beloved's mind. And we are going to have a look. We have Gemini, the 7th house, and Neptune. So Neptune is the weaver of illusion. We have 7th house, long-term partners and commitments. And then we have Gemini. So there's a Gemini in the situation. Hopefully this is confirming. And we are talking about a long-term partnership, or how you are showing up in your desire, like, yeah. One of my guides is really bossy, and he often goes, yeah, shush. And I appreciate it. So we're tuning into the runes, to Yggdrasil, to the world tree and the information that is available to us as we inquire into the houses. See this beautiful rune board that I made? It's actually an astrology house board. So I made the board and the runes myself, along with these amazing earrings. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're tuning in and we're asking for the wisdom. Each of these houses represents an area of your life, and this is going to help us to see how the runes want to share wisdom about where you're at in your current life position. All right. Let us see, let us hear, let us know. Allo, allo, allo. No, going again. Woo. I get this really giddy feeling, which is very Gemini at times. All right, my friend. So we are looking at partnership, harvest, gifts. You are the gift. Gifts in the communication, breakthroughs in emotional communication. We're looking at fertility in the home environment and flow. Fertility and flow. We're looking at a seasonal sex life. Light and dark, light and dark. Something you're creating, knowing that there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. Yeah, cool. All right. So straight up, we've got in the first house, we have Air was the rune of working together. Now, it's interesting because the first house is often how we perceive ourselves to be seen in the world, what our public image is, and kind of how we adorn ourselves, you know, like when you go to someone's front door, like what's that first impression? And so this could be a first impression as being in a partnership. It could be a first impression that you would love that partnership. You're calling in that partnership because part of your success matrix is being successfully coupled. So we're looking at also as a couple. I just got asked to be quiet again. Okay, so I'm going to pull some tarot because I was asked to pause for clarity on what this AWAS in the first house is for you. So let's think about your person, think about your question, get super clear. King of Wands, Six of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. So we've got a lot of fire here. We are looking at a pretty sexy, victorious kind of an individual. This person is wanting acknowledgement and to be seen as something by their peers and in society. They're going for the victory. They are going for the King of Wands can be a very purpose-filled, passionate lover. They can also be really lusty and a bit leaky. So that could be a thing. We've also got the Knight of Wands here. So the Knight of Wands is, you know, is that fiery aspect of like, oh, I've got to get the things, I've got to do the things, I've got to be seen. Because we're asking for specifically around AWAS in the first house, we're looking at like a bit of an anxiety about image here. There's an anxiety about how one is perceived by the world and in the world. And then we've got the Queen of Cups energy. And the Queen of Cups is a very benevolent energy. It's a very generous feminine. She is there and she's giving and she's of service and she's got a cup to drink from. Now, in her shadow, she is completely dry. She hasn't filled her cup. So when we look at the need for partnership, the clarity here is to not allow someone else's passion or your passion to be seen as something in the physical, to be perceived, to have the image of, for other people's first impression. Like, try and drop that, because when we get to the second house of your value and what your values are and how you're perceived, you've got Yera there, which is the rune of the harvest. We're looking at the energetics of knowing that your harvest is coming, but you actually have to claim your worth and your value and know what your values are. And often what happens is we can fall into cycles of yearning to be seen as something and witnessed as something because we're not witnessing and claiming and owning our own value. So I'm just going to pull a card to clarify that in a second. because I've just been asked to ask a yes/no question. So when we come back to your original question, Seven of Wands is a bit of a maybe card. It's like, more clarity, please, Great Spirit. More clarity. Thank you, Great Spirit. Really feel that devil energy, like it keeps coming in. There's confusion. The answer is no. Whatever question you have asked in regards to this reading, the answer is no. Five of Coins indicates letting go. It indicates, paired with the Seven of Wands, we're looking at letting go of the burden, letting go of the struggle, with the knowledge that our harvest doesn't always come in our timeline. Yera, the rune in your second house, literally means year. Yera. So, a year from now, you could have the public impressions that you are yearning for in order to have that. I don't know what, the public impressions doesn't feel like the right wording. It's like, I feel like there's either you or your partner or the person you're inquiring about is tweaking their image and how they're seen. And so when we decide to change something massive about our identity or something we identify as a part of us, it takes time to change these patterns. So Yera could mean that it will take time, it will take it up to a year. But it could also mean that it's harvest time now. So let's ask for clarity. Pile 3, Amethyst. Let's get clarity on the second house here. So what is the harvest? What energy? What wisdom? What am I reading there? You've got the Knight. Be brave and honest. And Stargazer, see the bigger picture. Okay, so in order for you to reap your harvest, being brave and honest is required. We've got quite a theme going on here with the Knight, the Devil, King, the Queen, the Five of Coins. There is a let go happening. There is illusion. Someone believes that they need to be seen in a certain way. There is passion. There is victory. If we freeze emotional reactivity in the words that we are speaking, and we come from a place of changing the communication pattern where we are affirming the gift, affirming what is good, affirming what the other has done right, affirming that you are the gift, speaking from a gratitude-centered place. Gebo means gift. So Is your communication a gift? Isa, which is the ice, is sitting next to Gebo in the house of communication. So we're asking to freeze a certain way of communicating so that you can begin to bring through the gift. Does that make sense? If this is resonating, please let me know. Interaction really helps, you know, like I love doing these monthly readings, and when you let me know how it landed in your world, it definitely helps. Okay. Yeah, there's that public, like the public recognition, because there's nothing wrong with wanting to be seen and acknowledged and heard and witnessed, and to know how you want to be perceived by others, provided that it's not the be all and end all, and we're not going into negative spirals and cycles around it. So now in the home environment, you've got Fehu, which is it's the feminine, it's the mother cow, it's that force that springs the leaf open. It's this divine feminine first force of creation, mother cow benevolence. So you're being asked to be flowing, and this is like really femme and juicy at home. It's like soft, because you've got lugas, la 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 la, is like the flow of water in home, allowing home life to flow, allowing things to blossom in their own time. There we are again, Fehu Yera. There is a sacred time, sacred cycles, a divine feminine way. And then next to that you have Dagas. And Dagas is literally seasons. It's cycles. It's like night and day, season and cycles. Similar to Yera, but Dagas is like, okay, here we are. Here's a season and a cycle, beginning and ending. And this is to do with projects, things you are birthing, children, and your sex life. So I'm going to ask for a bit of clarity about that. Because we've got the devil sitting here, right? And we do have the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, and then being brave and honest and seeing the big picture. And Neptune. So there's something going down. Let's just check about this. Remember that we asked a question. It was a yes/no question, and the answer was no. It looks to me like there's a bit of burnout going on. You've got some really yummy energy available. Something you can tap into to shift the situation is appreciating the other and the whole relationship from a childlikeness, like coming from the eyes of a child and the innocence of a child, and remembering that anything you're working towards, even if it's your sex life, like everything has a time and a season under the sun, and it's actually really natural to have times when it's not banging. So come back to the cup of love for love's sake. And I mean, you've got the Nine of Wands reversed, which means that there is a massive breakthrough available for you. Like, you're at the end of a really, really, really difficult cycle. You have temperance, which means being able to temper hardcore emotion, except it's upside down. So it's like confirming what Issa was saying. You need to calm those fiery words, my friend, or the other. You know, the other person. If you're reacting because you perceive that there is some kind of things hidden from you, then take the time to tend to your fire and to get the help that you need so that you can build a sense of secure, stable home within, where even if the other is being deceptive, then you've got your own back, and all of your eggs are not invested in that person's basket, to the point where if they don't show up with the integrity that you require in a relationship, then, like, what I'm hearing is another person's choices, another person's actions are actually none of our business, which is a head fuck, because we're in relationships where we are in intimate partnership with them, or they are, you know, like, it's either romantic, you're probably asking from a romantic, or a intimate. This is someone that you care enough about to ask questions, and there are concerns about fantasy and illusion and, you know, being played with. But here's the kicker. The devil is always the fears that we are playing into ourselves. It is our deepest, darkest fears that hold us back from truly receiving our inheritance, of receiving what is there for us. Because what is sitting here is like the temperance of emotion, the end of a really challenging spiral, letting that person need their victory. And then having this amazing Knight of Cups energy of like, okay, well, what else is possible? Like, how else can I come at relationships? Because if I take this cup of relating that I think I know, and I realize, well, a lot of it's not working, so I'm willing to pour that out to get the information I require to have the relationship of my dreams, because that is my birthright, and I am allowed to want what I want, and I want to be victorious. I want to be the Queen of Cups. I want to have my King of Wands next to me. I choose to call in my harvest. I know how valuable I am. I know that when I bring my gift to my communication, the gift of my heart to my communication, and I choose to freeze the stories that I'm telling myself where the devil is playing tricks on me, and instead of bringing this, like, I'm hearing the word paranoia actually. So instead of bringing this energy to the relationship, which is going to affect the energy a lot, we want to tap you into the difference between intuition and when we're coming from our past traumas and our inner child stuff. So, like, if this is resonating with you and you're really struggling, please reach out for a session. I would love to help you. We can help you to you know, we can help to repattern some of the programs that are really affecting you. Because, I mean, we're all learning how to do better, and we are all absolutely learning through the school of life. Relationships are not easy, and most of us have got dysfunctional points of reference from dysfunctional family units and stuff. So yeah, I think we're all just learning together, and that's okay. It's okay to come and go, all right, I'm trauma parading around as a goddess or a god. Can you please help me to unpack this so I can be a blessing to everybody that is in my world? So we're asking for the light frequency that you can play in to start shifting this. And we've got the Spirit of the Bear. I love this card. Yeah. I have to read it because I don't recall the oracle. Like, I do, the tarot is like something I've been studying for a long time, and the runes, but the oracle, they have their own jam. So number 24, which breaks down to a 6. Rainbow ray, the 7 main chakras, they might need harmonizing and balancing. The 4 elements, universal constellations, divine blueprint. Oh, I just got interrupted. Yeah, this is a specific message for somebody. The way that you're seeing it, this situation needs a reframe. Sometimes when we turn it upside down and see it from a different perspective, the whole thing can unravel, and then the sticky energy and the sticky points of view. Yeah, you've been in a power struggle. So my question for you is it more important to be right? Or can you soften and listen to your heart? What does your heart want when you release the need to be right? Divine blueprint. Come back to your divine blueprint, because the ego wants to be right, but your divine blueprint doesn't give a fuck about being right or wrong. It just knows that it exists and it has something to contribute. And you know, this feels like it could be some kind of karmic contract or an agreement that you have chosen to journey with this person, and for a season, a reason, a lifetime. We don't know. It's a general reading, so I don't want to ask questions like that, but there's no mistakes, you know, whether it is a season, a reason, or a lifetime. The main thing is that you show up and you do your best to bring your divine blueprint alignment into the situation so that the relationship can fulfill what the contract is. The healer, solidarity, a path to remember, a legacy foretold, silence, times past and present, and family. Retreat, solo effort, strength in vulnerability. So yeah, we're looking at being brave. We're looking at a season where you're really aware that it's time to close your eyes and fall in love. It's time to be safe in self when another is doing a thing. It is about changing your relationship with deceit, betrayal, illusion. It's healing betrayal wounds. It is calling in your King of Wands, seeing the other in their highest, most beautiful person and yourself in that, knowing there is a victory here, knowing that there is love and partnership, knowing that when you bring your gift of kindness, communication that is a gift rather than communication that is not a gift. Creating that fertile, yummy environment, remembering why you love this person, what you appreciate about them, and tempering these old patterns so that you can set your sights on the highest frequency and call in your harvest, knowing that there's a season and a cycle for everything under the sun. And my beautiful friend, I'm here for you. You can book in a session online, and you can support me by liking and subscribing to my channel and sharing. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. This is Jade tuning out. I hope your March is very blessed, and yeah, rock on.